guys can hear me okay. Let me just bring the microphone a little bit closer and see if everything's working. Hello guys, how are you all? Happy Saturday. Oh, I forgot what day it was. Here we go. So you may not find me on my original post on Facebook because for some reason it couldn't find it when I came to log on. But you should be able to see me fine on Facebook. Let's just check that YouTube is keeping up with the times. I'm hoping so. Yay! It is excellent. So that means we're up and running, which is great news. I hope you guys are well, and welcome to our first National Scrapbooking Day event. So I'm excited about doing this today. I'm sorry about that we moved Thursday's crafty event, our usual crafting live, because I wanted to be able to prepare for this, and doing multiple live streams in a week is quite a task. So I had to move some other jobs to ones, around so that I could make time for this. It's really, really important to me that I be here to be able to do this today, because it is the first one that we've had an opportunity to do. And I thought it'd be a great opportunity while I'm here to just talk a little bit about my memory keeping journey, how I got into the memory keeping craft, and a little bit of what I've done up to now in this space, and also then share a little bit of my April Project Life layout with you as well. So we'll do a little bit of scrapbooking towards the end, only a little bit. I think we may not have time for an awful lot, but what I wanted to do, like I say, is I wanted to spend a bit of time just talking to you about my journey with memory keeping. I thought it'd be a really good opportunity for us to do that because of the day celebrating all things scrapbooking, and you guys know that I am primarily a paper crafter. So paper crafting is what I do, and that's my first love and will always be my first love. But this is coming in a close second, and this is why I released a range of memory keeping products that I'm very, very proud of, and we'll be adding more to this line as we develop over the years. So it's something that we will, continue with and continue to grow. So I thought that this is just an opportunity, I guess, for you to sit back, grab a cup of tea. I've got my cup of tea here, as always. I've even got a few bits of chocolate to nibble on. I thought we'd have just a little catch up, talk about memory keeping. If you've got any questions about memory keeping and my journey, I don't profess to be any kind of an expert in this area. I am still learning too, and we can learn together, because I think that's what's great about this crafty community, is that we can all learn together. So like I say, I've got my cup of tea, and I'm ready to just chat about memory keeping and some of my experiences. So what I thought we'd do for today's live is start with a little bit of a flip through of the very first project that I did in memory keeping. And when I talk about memory keeping, I'm talking about, for me, the part of memory keeping that I'm really enjoying is using pocket pages to record bits of my life. So getting those photos that are normally in my phone out of my phone and into a pretty album. So this is my pretty album. This is a Time for Tea Designs. It's an 8x9 size album. And I've used some of my puffy stickers to just add a little title along the side there. And WITL means week in the life, so that's short for week in the life. And this was the first project that I tackled as part of my memory keeping journey. It's a big project, it's a huge project, and I confess I probably haven't really finished it, and I would love to finish it, but I wanted to show you what this album contains, in the hope that maybe it inspires you in the same way that when I watched people revealing their week in the life projects on YouTube and Instagram and so on, really inspired me to start this process. Hi Laura Ann, welcome to our first scrapbooking event. I probably should say as well, as I'm about to start this, is that we do have a sale on as well of all our memory keeping items. So this album that I'm showing you here is absolutely part of the sale. So it's I think full price is $14.95 off the top of my head. 10% off today and tomorrow until midnight tomorrow on all our memory keeping products, including non-Time for Tea design brands. But if you are a Time for Tea subscriber, check your inbox, because you have a special code that will get you an extra 5% off as well. So and I think I also did mention that there is a giveaway as part of this. So stay tuned and I will let you know as we go along what that giveaway is. But I've spoken too much and not shown you anything yet. So, and that's quite boring to watch. I hate it when people have really long introductions. Hello Emma, how are you? Yeah, this is a beautiful looking album on the outside, but what's on the inside is what we're interested in. So you've got your beautiful album to keep everything in. And this is my very first week in the life project, and it's not perfect, and there are things that I will probably do differently, but if I was to do it again. But this was my very first foray into it. Now we took this to the Stamporama event that was last weekend. Was it last weekend? Yeah, it's flown by. And people loved looking through this, and I think a lot of people commented that although they hadn't ever done anything like this or been interested in scrapbooking before, seeing the album really got piqued their interest. So that's another reason why I wanted to show it to you. So the idea behind Week in the Life, it's a project that was started by a lady called Ali Edwards. She's very big on YouTube and has a great blog and all the rest of it. She's very inspiring when it comes to taking photos and documenting your stories, and she started this project called Week in the Life. She also does a day in the life as well, and the idea is you take 1 week out of your life every year and you record it in real detail. So this entire album is dedicated to just 1 week in my life. And you can see that it's bursting at the seams. And this week was May the 8th, 2021 till the 14th in 2021. We are now coming up to what would have been exactly a year later than this project. So again, this is another great reason to go back and reflect on this, because you can then see how different life is just 1 year on from this point. And I intend starting my next week in the life next week, so it will be interesting to see just how much that changes, how it's changed from how my process changes and so on. But it's a really good time to look over this. So that's my initial page, and then on the inside of here I've got just a little pocket that I made out of a little glassine bag and some one of our ephemera pieces, and then I've just popped in here a little bit of journaling that I just typed out on my computer, and then I've stuck on a piece of card. And this is my reason why. So why am I doing this? Why am I doing this project? And I've not read through this again since the first time I did it. And I think before I do my next one, I will read that through, because my reason for doing it may be slightly different. Hi, Kirsty. How are you? Thank you so much for joining me, guys. I hope that this is of interest to you. So one of the things that I found when I was doing the project, and I watched lots of inspirational videos to figure out what I wanted to do, was they all followed a little bit of a similar formula. Happy Scrapbook Day to you too, Laura. That's really sweet. And I wanted to do the same thing, because I think following a similar kind of formula is really helpful to help you through the process, because it is quite a detailed process. So you'll see as you go through that part of my formula was to have one of these little inserts here that would carry the day, have a few embellishments on there, have a little bit of a chipboard piece indicating what day it is, and then the number which indicates the date. So this is the 8th of May, and my week started on a Saturday. I think I'm going to start it on a Monday this week rather than on a Saturday. But one of the reasons that I started with a Saturday this week is because I was at Create and Craft on that day, and I thought that would be a good day to record, because it's something that it's probably not typical, and would be good to look back on the following week. So on the back of there, I've included some pictures, and then this is another bit of the formula that will continue throughout, and this is just a craft piece of cardstock cut to more of a traveller's notebook size. I would guess it's probably about 3.5 by 8 inches or so, maybe 7 inches. And then I've just stamped in white, using our Tall Alphas, a sentiment of some sort, so that was relevant to that day. So for this day, lights, camera, action seemed to fit because we were at the studios. And then on the back, I've just done a little bit of journaling using one of our journaling cards, some of our puffy stickers and ephemera, just to decorate that. Another piece of the, I guess, the formula that I used was an acetate piece that's just, I've just used my hole punch to make that fit my binder. And then I've cut the script word Saturday using some white vinyl and stuck that onto my acetate piece. So I've cut that large on my silhouette cameo so that I can have this large Saturday script going across the middle, going across the front there. And that creates a really nice overlay over my large picture. So again, for each day, one of my formula items is to have a large out of the pocket page picture. So, and this one I picked this picture of me stood in the green room, well, in the dressing room in the green room actually, at Create and Craft, and just before I went on air. Now, the interesting thing about this that I think is going to be really, really cool is that Create and Craft no longer exists. So this building that I was in is no longer owned by Create and Craft. I will never be going back there again. Create and Craft will never be hosted from there again. It's moved to a different building under a different owner and a different name, and is completely changed. Next week, which is, like I say, pretty much exactly a week after this week in the life, I will be going to a new TV studio to demonstrate at Hobby Maker, and that's in near Birmingham. So it will be completely different studios. It will be a completely different place exactly a year later. So again, this is one of the things that I think is really, really interesting about this project, is that, you know, you just don't know how life is going to change in such a short period of time. So I'm so glad that I've recorded this and I've got this somewhere. I've got images here of some of the people that I worked with, what the green room used to look like at Create and Craft, you know, what the dressing room looked like, and I won't ever have that again. So this is the studio. So on the reverse of here, I have a large image of the studios. And interestingly, the presenter that has his back to me there, Dave Bradford, is one of the presenters that has moved across to Hobbymaker. But these other chaps haven't, as far as I'm aware. So and again, these studios, the way this is set up, I won't ever be part of that particular thing again. And here I got a picture of Ideal Home House from the outside. Again, I'm never going to go there again. So this is really, I'm really pleased that I was able to capture this. And you can see that I've just added some bits of ephemera on here and a few little bits just to add a little bit of bit of a story behind, you know, what I was trying to do here was also tell a story about the fact that I was very nervous, trying to give myself a little bit of confidence, a bit of yes you can, because it's always a very nerve-wracking time. Here's on the back of this little insert that I added here was a little note that was in some of the sample photos from one of my design team, Jane. She's still on the design team now and has you know, offered me a bit of good luck, which was really cool. And then obviously a little bit of a thank you there for the support. And then just some other pictures that I took along the journey. So the fact that it was a rainy day, and the fact that at the time when I was travelling, we were still adhering to face masks and COVID rules. So we weren't able to get close to each other. You can see in the picture in the studio that everyone was wearing masks there as well. So again, that's something that may not feature this year in my week in the life. All of the ephemera that you see, all of the bits, stickers, washi tape, stamped images are all Time for Tea products. The puffy stickers are all Time for Tea products. And then just some more pictures from this story. So this was all in one day, and the idea being that you really document different items from the day, you know, as you go through your day. So you perhaps wouldn't do an album in this much detail for your project life, but this really gives you an opportunity to explore it in a lot more detail. So I got Ant to take some photos. He was watching me at home with Clyde. Pictures of the setup in the studio, Ant giving Clyde a cuddle while he was watching me on TV, and then me arriving home and being greeted by a yawning Rosie. And again, this is going to be really special to me because you know, Clyde was in full health in May of this year, or was just starting to exhibit some poor health actually, which is recorded in here. But you know, he's no longer with us, and looking back on these pictures now and how different life is now he's not around is going to be, you know, something really interesting, I think. So again, I've used some of our ephemera and journaling cards. I haven't added any journaling onto these yet. That's the one thing that I haven't done in this album, is added any of my own words yet. I've added a couple of spots, but I'd need to go through and do that in a bit more detail. For example, here, this is ripe for a little bit of journaling, but I didn't finish it. Another one of our journaling cards there. And then I took a picture while we were FaceTiming my mum and dad, because they didn't know what they were doing, and it was really, really funny, bless them. So I just added some alpha dyes there, just to you know, highlight what the message of the story was really. And you don't have to add loads of embellishments, you don't have to go to town with this if you don't want to. Just a few little things here and there are really all that it takes. I enjoy the fact that the photos tell the story. So, and I hope we're not getting too much glare, I don't think. So again, you can see this formula returns. So I've got this insert piece with the Sunday details and stories, the SU, another little speech bubble. That's one of our speech bubble dies. And I've stamped the word May, and then we've got the 9th there. On the back of that is a picture of little Rosie and some of our puffy stickers. And then again, this same formula of an insert piece. And then the words for the day, because it was a Sunday, it was the day after I'd been to Create and Craft. So I was at home and I just wrote chill, relax over and over in a pattern with our tall alpha stamps. On the back there, I've added the out of office and then some room for some journaling, which I've not yet completed. And again, the large acetate there. One of my little enamel dots has moved, but never mind. With the Sunday that's being cut out of some white vinyl. And I am thinking that I will probably do this again this year because I really like how this looks. I don't know if I kept the cut file for this, but you can just create this in your Silhouette studio, or if you've got a different cutting machine, I'm sure they have design software where you can just use a scripty font and create your own. But I really like how that looks and how that looks over the top of our large picture. So again, I've got this lovely large picture. This one is of Rosie sat on the bed, and I think we had recently decorated this room, and I made these pictures, wall art, whatever you want to call them. I'd made those, so and her just sat there amongst all the cushions, was so cute. So I love these large pictures like this. We also had another couple of pictures of everybody just kind of sleeping and hanging out that day because it was very much a lazy kind of a day. Another little insert here, again, this has become quite a formula I think throughout, is to have an extra little insert here with a large picture of a bunch of flowers that Aunt got me, and then me reverse parking our car I think that's at the petrol station actually, and the reason that that's significant is because it was a big car and I always struggled to manage to reverse park it. So the fact that I did it, whenever I did it successfully, I sent a picture to Aunt to tell him, and we don't have this car anymore. So again, looking back over time, I think it's going to be really interesting to see how some of those things have changed. And then this was just a bit of a bit of time that Aunt and I spent in this office, which is my office and craft room. And you can see here that I've taken this large picture of Aunt and I've cut it in two and then put it in 2 pocket pages. So that's a really neat trick if you have got a larger picture but you've only got the 2 spaces. You can also do it the other way around. If you've got 2 3x4 pictures, you can pop them in this 4x6 slot, or you could do a large picture cut into 3, which is also a great effect. Me watching a little bit of some inspiration from Week in the Life actually there. So yeah, really cool to look back on that. And then on the back here we have the evening, a bit of a sunset, and then a spot for some journaling there that again, a theme I haven't yet completed. I also don't have any extra embellishments on this picture or on this journaling card here, so these might be some bits that need a little bit of finishing off, but really you don't have to. The most important point is that you've got these things documented to remember. Again, same thing, Monday on this piece of card, used some patterned paper to add the little border, and then on the back some more pictures from the day, going for a little bit of a jaunt out and how we'd created a little bit of a face mask drawer. This drawer is now redundant because we don't need face masks for most occasions these days, and just recording the fact that I always ended up with a little mark on my nose from my face mask. This little insert here again on the craft card, I used the word currently life, the words currently life today, stamp those out, and weird is wonderful, because Monday was a strange post-COVID but still within the COVID world kind of a day, and I've recorded here, just decorated this with some of our stickers, and bits of ephemera, just to create this really cool rainbow pattern. And these are great spots to add some bits of journaling at a later date, because we're now into Monday. We've got our Monday acetate, and this was very much the feel of the day. It was a very wet day. This whole project has made me think very differently about how I take my pictures. So I started to record some of the I don't know, things at different angles, from different perspectives, that give you a bit of a flavour for the day. So this was, I think this was the windscreen of the car that I took, and just all those droplets of rain just look really pretty, and again just encompasses the feeling of the day. It was a very damp, just kind of a dreary day. Recording the fact here that we were wearing outdoor clothes, and having to put our outdoor clothes on to go to do a number of different jobs. So I've just cut those down, created a bit of a collage. Now this page here is probably the one that is closest to, I would say, closest to a traditional kind of scrapbooking page, because we've got collages of pictures, we've got some decoration in the background with some patterned papers, some stamping, some ephemera, some little clusters of embellishments that make up that. And then here I've just added some lines so that I can add some journaling. Again, I've been a bit negligent in that area. Another insert piece here with a little girl Rosie on there, and I love this kind of this notebook, traveler's notebook size insert. It just adds a bit of interest to your book, and to your album. Just a few little pieces on there of ephemera, a little sentiment saying love this little moment. That's all that needs, really, and I love that. This on the back of here is another kind of everyday picture of Rosie sat on the car. And what I've done here is I've just added again another label, and the sentiment because, and then I think I was going to stamp because she can, sat on the bonnet of the car being really naughty. And then just some pictures from our adventures for the day, Aunt's snacks for the journey, us going out to do some chores and some errands. So here on this journaling card that we have, I was going to put all the places that we visited that day. I wished I'd done that, because now I can't remember. I don't have a picture for every place that we visited. I had the picture for when we went to Yorkshire Fencing, but I don't have a picture for anything else. So this is another thing that I think is going to be really good, and that I will do differently this time actually, is to have a little notebook for things like this, so that I can note on there, right, where did we go, what were the stops along the way, so that if I do want to make a note of them and they are worthy of a story, I can then transfer them into my album. Moving through, this is still Monday, and what I think I might do for the next time is maybe have some more prompts for the dates as I go through. But I believe we are still on Monday here. So this is again Monday afternoon, having some coffee, and making a coffee with his favourite coffee machine that he loves, and then just some little bits of ephemera, creating my own little filler card here. Picture of Clyde sat in a shaft of sunshine, which he loved the sunshine so much. So such a cute little picture of him there. And then this is a great memory of him picking on next door's cat when he's 19 years old at this point. He's got 3 legs, and the cat next door is only 3. You know, he's a young cat, shouldn't be scared of little old man Clyde, but Clyde was, you know, just a legend, bless him. So that's a great memory that I'll always have. And I just created this little flip up, and again on the back of there, there's nothing on the back of there, you could add some journaling if you wanted to. A couple of filler cards here because there wasn't much else that happened in the evening, so I think the idea is that we'll probably have added some journaling here, maybe another picture here at some point, but I'm quite happy that we leave that the way it is. There's no need to fill every space if you don't, if you don't have the pictures, but it would be nice to kind of fill in the story of what's happened with some of these pictures before I forget them all. Again, we're on to Tuesday. Same formula for the insert there. Same formula on the back where I've added some photos, maybe a bit of journaling, a little quote there about photography and Rosie hiding from the rain. And because again we were into a rainy day, I've added rain, rain, rain all over my my notebook sized insert on the craft card here. Again, I'm using the white ink onto craft card. I love the way this looks with that tall alpha. And I used, just FYI for case anybody's interested, this is archival ink, Moonlight White Brilliance by, I can't say that, but yeah, it's the Brilliance ink. And it's got a little bit of a sheen to it. It's not just a matte, it looks quite matte here on the craft, but it really stands out against your dark colours, your blacks, and your crafts looks really good. And it also works quite well onto your photos as well if you wanted to use that. I've just decorated the back of here again with a rainbow of our speech bubble stamps, the insert that says Tuesday, and then a picture of, I managed to get a picture of a streak of lightning. Not the best picture in all of the land. They don't have to be the best pictures ever. I think that's something that is quite important to say. I don't want you guys thinking that you've got all of a sudden got to become like, the best photographers in the land. This is about you telling your story for you, and as long as it represents for you what happened at the time, that is all you really need. And even if they're a bit blurry or they're not perfect, don't worry about that. It's something that I've not worried about because it's more about recording the moment in time. So here I've just created a little bit of a pocket using some of our patterned papers, and then I've also created some tags here using our memory keeping die set. So I've created these little tags, and again these are great little journaling spots. The journaling, as you can see, is the one bit that I have not been very good at, but I love how this turned out. I love the way the pattern papers look. I used a bit of washi tape on there. This is our days of the week washi tape, a little bit of ribbon on there, and it just all looks really cute. These are our little noted labels. It works so well for extra journaling, and also is a little bit of interest as well. It's a little bit of something to look at. Over here, I just recorded what I was doing. So Tuesday was a normal work day. We did our errands on Monday. So on Tuesday it was back to work, packing orders, doing some online training there. I think I can't even remember what that was for. But as always, Clyde was keeping me company while I was doing that. I think I was also doing some designing this week. This is later on in the day, and preparing his protein shake, me doing a bit of exercise. this is a really fun idea, is to just I created this in my design software, but you could do this on Word, because it's just essentially it's a rectangle with rounded corners to look like a phone, and then I've added my picture into the middle of that, which is a screenshot of text messages that I received that day, and this one was from my dad, of my mum having a cappuccino, and I just love the way that this creates an extra little bit of interest. It's something that you wouldn't normally put in a photo album, but it's something that happened that day that I think is worth remembering, worth looking back on. And you know, my mum and dad will have forgotten that they went for that little coffee on a nice sunny day in Lincoln, where they live. So again, I'm really glad that I've recorded that in here. Pictures here of the office, just straight pictures in the pocket. So these are our photo pockets, our inserts. We call them, I can't remember what we call them on the website now. I think they're like photo sleeve refills or something for the photo album. And this is just me doing some design work, doing some a picture of my office at the time, with which is still looks very much the same now. Rosie sat on my chair, and then me doing some designing again with Clyde sat on my knee there, bless him. So these are all things that I think, you know, some of these things will be the same, but things like this is very much changed. So you know, it's really, really interesting to look back on. I can see there what I was designing at the time again, which is really interesting to look back on. At this point in time, my warehouse, if you like, was in our what used to be our garage. So this is me packing orders here, and doing a bit of an inventory in my old warehouse space. We don't use this space now. We've moved to a unit somewhere where I work from. So this again is really, really interesting, because this is how I used to work, and it's not like that anymore. Again, another bad weather day, and I love these circles with the currently watching, the currently cooking. They were part of an Ali Edwards free digital download for Week in the Life, so I think I'll definitely look to do something similar for that this time. So this was just what we were eating at the time, some meals that were being cooked, and they're really nice ones to record. And then this was also some more lightning that we had that day, so me trying to capture that and the bad weather. We've got another insert here with, I think this is possibly in the wrong place. It should be after this. But this is as we move into Wednesday. We've got work, and some washi tape on the back of there. This same insert here that says Wednesday. And then a little bit of, just a bit of, again, a bit more traditional kind of scrapbooking, I would say, where I've just created this this decorative piece with some of the dies from our memory keeping die collection, and then the puffy stickers to say the word Clyde, and then this picture of Clyde crying. And this was really when we started to notice he was being very noisy and demanding a lot of attention. So this picture of him crying in the hallway, where I would be able to see him from where I'm sat now, again is one that you know, I'm so glad that I've captured. And then we've got more kind of, this was I guess a bit of a day where Clyde featured quite a lot. So I've got pictures of him obviously tucked up in bed. I don't think he was feeling too great. I went outside to get some fresh air. He came and sat on my knee, and then I made this little shaker tag. So this has got some tiny little bits of these are little stars. I stamped some stars onto this piece of cardstock, cut a circle in the centre, and popped this up on some foam tape to make this tag, which I think is really, really sweet. And then I added some words on the back there about Clyde turning 19 this month, and what a legend he is. So again, that's just a really nice thing to have captured about Clyde. Turning over, we've then got a little flip up that I made here. I think you can just about see that. Again, this is them both eating, which is really cute, and the way that they would eat together, where they would eat. Rosie sat in the same spot that Clyde was, on that bigger piece there. The sun comes in through, oh, she's the opposite side, sorry, she's right outside my office here, and the sun coming through, and you can see the shadow with her pointy ears, and I just thought that was a great picture to share. Sorry, that's a bit glary, isn't it? I'm hoping that you can see that okay. If I perhaps tip it this way, that might be a little bit better. So you can see the shadow of her ears, which is really cute. Clyde on the deck. Again, no other embellishments here. No need for them. And I was going to add some journaling to the back of this flip up, but I didn't. Here, Clyde meowing again, becoming very vocal this month. And then also Rosie demanding some attention from me when I was trying to do some designing. So again, you know, the cats really do feature as part of this. Another little use of this iPhone or iPad design to record the things that I was watching at the time. So when I'm crafting, when I'm doing my work, I like to watch different things on TV at the time. And one of the things that was in our planner was obviously us being on Create and Craft, because we'd recorded that. But also that we were watching things like Line of Duty at the time. So just really, really interesting to record some of the things that you're watching. Again, just recording a message from Ant, where he'd been to visit Rotherham United as part of his job in the fire service. Going to the post box, and Rosie tormenting the magpies across the way. Again, room for some journaling that didn't happen. And you can see here that I've not added any other embellishments. It's just purely about the pictures at this point. And you'll see how this differs when we come to my project Life. Again, very detailed. We're going into, you know, this picture I love of Clyde. This is one of my favourite pictures, where he's tucked under my arm, spending a bit of time with Ant before he goes on his night shift, having a little cup of tea, and away he goes to work. Me doing some more exercise, and the amount of exercise that I've done since then in terms of what I'm able to do has really increased, which is a good thing to record, you know. So I'm just tipping this up so that there isn't so much glare on this side, because as we get towards the end, obviously it's getting a little bit fuller. Another picture of Clyde laid on my legs, which is one of his favourite places. And then we move on to Thursday. So, and again, I think these have ended up in the wrong slot, so I'll have to have a little bit of a move around, because my like formula seems to have got a little bit out of whack. But this is definitely related to Thursday. So this is Facebook Live, stamped all over here, and as you know, we do a Facebook Live on a Thursday. So on the back of here, I've just used some of our days of the week washi tape, some ephemera, some enamel dots and stickers just to decorate the back of that. And then I've just written on here, it's almost the weekend, because our week here started on Saturday, if you remember. So same formula here with our little insert that says the May the 13th, a little picture of Clyde sat on my knee, and then again this bit of acetate here, showing us it's Thursday, and then this large picture of Rosie sat on my work. And then on the back, I did include another picture of her making a nuisance of herself in the office when I'm trying to work. This here is a picture that I managed to set up while I was doing the Facebook Live, so it was a little bit tricky. And one of the things that I would say, if you're planning on doing anything like this, is do think about how you can get yourself in the pictures, because a lot of the time it's other people that are that you know, you're taking pictures of other people, and you sometimes miss out on being in those pictures. So setting up your phone on a stand on a timer to take a picture of you while you're doing something or while you're with others is really useful. If you're doing a lot of the same things as well each day, just taking them from a different point of view or a different angle can tell a different story. So just being a bit more intentional with your photos can really help change things up. And this is, like I said before, this is a large picture but cut into 3 segments, sorry. So I've got a 4x6 and then 2 3x4s here, and I just added a little bit of ephemera at the top there to just cover up this blank space. But you could add journaling on there, any number of different things. And then again, just a few bits on the back. Again, there wasn't a lot of a story to tell in the evening, apart from the fact that I really struggled to get to sleep. Was still awake at 2 in the morning, and then was awake again at 6. So the next day, it's very much yawn, 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 because I was very tired. Hadn't slept. Couple of pictures on the back there, cute pictures of Rosie in the morning when I got up, was sat on her tower. And we're into Friday now. So for Friday, on the back of Friday here, I've got this little pocket that I've made. And again, I have just added a few cards in there in terms of ephemera, but also a little glassine bag with now this is actually a statement that was given by Boris Johnson, I believe, about the fact that we were coming fully out of lockdown at this point. So I thought that would be really worth keeping and looking back on, and it's something that I've carried through into my project Life now, is recording things that are current events. And I want to continue doing that. So for some of the big events of the time, I think it's going to be really worthwhile keeping those and some sort of record of them to look back on. So that will just go in there. And just remembering this feeling, wild and free, and a little bit of a sense of hope, were all really, I think, appropriate kind of words for the time. And then we've got Friday, and this picture of Rosie here, I just think really did depict my feelings at the time. This big yawn, all those cute whiskers and stuff. But yeah, I was feeling very tired on this particular day. Continuing the theme of what's in the news, what I decided to do was just do this little bit of a spread here. I stamped out in the news with our stamps, our outline stamps, and then our numbers as well for the dates that these things happened. So so just a few different things about Brexit, people working from home, a bit of information there about the Russian president, actually, and an investigation into Prince Michael, COVID-19, talking about an Indian variant, final Debenhams store closing, just all of these things that are, are just really important to look back on and remember. Some of them might not seem like important things, but mentions of things going on with the Russians at the time, the fact that there are no more Debenhams and that people are getting their second dose of vaccine at this point. So, these are moments in history that I think would be really interesting to look back on. Again, more work, and I'm actually designing the stamps that I actually use here. How interesting is that? So so yeah, so that's good. This picture here, I haven't got any journaling on, and I do want to add some, but this is the first sign of Clyde really becoming poorly here, where he started drinking an awful lot of water, and this was an early symptom of him being poorly. So and this was, you know, in May last year. So over this side, onto this page, is something that is really an interesting thing for you to record, and something that just might seem quite basic. Sorry about the glare, now we're getting towards the end. And again, I've not added any journaling on here, but I will do in the future, I hope, is the insides of our wardrobes, or our closets, if you were American. So we have a closet each in our bedroom. Aunt will tell you that I have an extra 2 closets as well in another room, but that's neither here nor there. And it'll be interesting to see, do these look the same now, or are they different? And this space here, I just created a little shaker pocket. So this has got some clay hearts in it, clay bits in it. I've sealed the top with some washi tape, and it just creates a fun little pocket for no other purpose, just that it looks cute. And I didn't have another picture to pop in there. A couple of pictures of Rosie stealing my my office chair, which she is currently in right now, sat next to me. And then this one is a really fun spread, and I really like this. So this is Aunt going off to work again in the evening on nights. Rosie sat in the middle of the driveway just there, so he can't go. So if you open this, so this is our kind of notebook sized tab, but if you open this up, the story continues, where he's had to actually take her out of the middle of the street and bring her to me and pop her through the front room window so that he can actually get off to work, which is really funny. So yeah, and then obviously she just then went to bed, which is really hilarious. So on the back of here, I wanted to record something that you know, again, about recording things that you're enjoying at the time. This is something that I will enjoy always, but Yorkshire tea is the tea of choice in this house. So I did a little bit of stamping using our coffee lovers stamp set actually, and then stamped out the word tea, because adulting is hard. I was having a rough day and I was drinking a lot of tea because I was very tired. Again, here on my sleep cycle, it recorded I had 2 hours and 9 minutes of sleep that night, which was fun. Just added a bit of ephemera on the back of there. And then this was me in the morning before Aunt came home, because obviously Aunt had been on nights, asleep with Clyde. And again, just, you know, I was taking these pictures of myself, but it was good to record the fact that, you know, Clyde and I waking up together. It wasn't a good morning because I was very, very tired. I don't even know what was keeping me awake, but well worth, you know, just recording that moment. And these pictures of Clyde with me, you know, I'll be able to keep those forever. And then just finishing it off with how I was woken up that day. So this was actually Saturday morning. So if you remember, we'd started on a Saturday, so I wasn't going to go into the full Saturday. This is actually Saturday morning, but I wanted to record this. I had an extra page at the back here, and just this finishes it off really nicely with the fact that, you know, I was greeted by 2 cats in my face that morning. So so yeah, so that is the full album, and you can see it is quite the chunky monkey. There's a lot in there, and that was just a week, but that is the whole point of the Week in the Life project, is that you do, you know, a deep dive into what you're doing every day. And some of the, you know, some of the days where there perhaps isn't as much to talk about, they're the great days to do something like this with the in the news, recording what's been going on, you know, outside of your life, but in life in general. So so yeah, I mean, if anybody's got any questions about any of that, please do shout up. Feel free to ask me, you know, message me via, you know, Facebook or whatever if you've got any questions. But that was such a fun project to do, and it was the first big project that I did for project in this kind of area, in the scrapbooking arena. So I'm really excited that I got to share that with you, especially today being Scrapbook Day. So now we've been through all that, I should probably talk to you about my giveaway, because I haven't done that yet, and we've been talking for nearly an hour, so I hope that's been of interest, and thank you for sticking around, guys that have stuck around so long. The giveaway will be to win an album like this, with some inserts to get you started. You will also get some memory keeping elements as well to get you started. So some ephemera, some journaling cards, some washi tape, and some stamps to get you started on your journey towards memory keeping. So in order to be part of this and to have an opportunity for winning, then you must leave a comment on this video. So the comments are open to everyone. You know, you don't have to be watching it live, but it must be on the YouTube version of the video for me to be able to record it. I don't know if no, scratch that. You can leave a comment on Facebook as well, because I think I will still be able to record those, but don't leave it in the chat, leave it in the comments. I think if you put it in the chat, in the live chat, I will probably lose it. So if you could please pop it in the comments rather than the chat, then, and you can comment whatever you want. You can comment just hi, hello, happy Scrapbook Day. Let's go for happy Scrapbook Day. If you comment in either the YouTube video or in the Facebook video, you will have a chance of winning your memory keeping starter kit, if you like. And the competition will close at the end of our scrapbooky weekend. So by midnight tomorrow, entries will be closed. So I hope that makes sense. I will pop a post into Facebook and YouTube as well, just to confirm those rules. But yeah, good luck, and please do enter, because even if you've already got one of these albums, you're going to want more than one, and I've got several, all with different things, and I'm going to show you the next one, and we'll go through this one a bit quicker because I want to show you a bit of my process as well. Sorry, Rosie, just giving Rosie a little bit of a nudge there, bless her. She's having a nice little sleep next to me. Pauline says, love all the time for team memory keeping things. Happy scrapbooking day. Oh, bless you. And Laura R says, love looking through your album, Jen. Oh, thank you, Laura. That's so cool. So we're moving on now to Project Life. So Project Life is a little bit different to the Week in the Life. So the Week in Life is a real deep dive into your daily routine, if you like. Excuse me while I have a little drink. So whereas Project Life isn't meant to be as much detail, the thing that I struggle with is I want to use every photo, and you really shouldn't, because that's not the purpose of this. It is about taking snapshots from your days for each month and adding them into your album, so that again you can look back in future years and see what life was like, but you don't have to record every picture. My plan is for special events where I've got lots of pictures that I do want to record, so for example big birthdays or holidays, that have a separate album that I record those stories and events in. But for normal day-to-day stuff, I'm going to try and pick out my favourite pictures from that particular story and record them in here. So I think I've already shown you a lot of this, so we'll just quickly flip through. My cover page for January, I've changed this twice. I'm still not 100% happy with it. I would rather it be one large picture, I think, so I can always add that in afterwards. And what I might do at the end of the year is maybe take a picture that represents the year and add that to the front. But as this is kind of the start of January and the different events throughout January. Again, we've got large pictures, we've got inserts with the tags that you saw previously, different events. I have been a little bit better with my journaling this time. You can see that I've gone back and added some bits of journaling, some pictures of Clyde there, some extra little inserts which are just nice to have as a bit of something more interesting to touch, and some flip ups again, just make things really interesting, using more of the pocket inserts in this occasion. Again, different inserts, bit more ephemera on top of and sentiments on top of pictures, some more stamping, journaling, doing well. This is February. This was a really particular project that we did for Clyde and Clyde's last kind of days. So this was a really hard one. My favourite picture of Clyde there with some journaling in this bit here. And then so this kind of collage here with various little flip ups and little bits of journaling again about Clyde that I'd typed up and printed out just onto normal copy of paper and then stuck on the back of my flip up. Again, more flip ups and more stories there that you can see, just checking that the glare's not too bad. Using one of the pockets there as a little bit of a container for extra little bits of ephemera, I suppose. And then we're into March, so title card for March there. And then here I've used, and these probably just want a little bit of adhering together because they're slipping and moving around. So I've got two of my 3x4 pictures here in a 4x6. So they probably need adhering together so that they don't move around. And then this here are some traveller's notebook size in pocket pages that we've got in the shop. And these are great just for adding extra little bits of pictures and stories. So I use this to record what's going on in the Ukraine at the moment. So we've got a bit of a timeline of the Ukraine. I've got some bits that I took off Instagram here of a crafter who is in the Ukraine at the moment and what her life is like. Some more detail there about the conflict. And then here I've created my own, I've got a little pocket here. This is actually some ephemera that comes in one of the, I think this is a pack that's that I might have bought separately, but it could also be one that's in the shop. I need to double check this one. But it's got some of these lovely little pockets in, and I just use this to include some cinema tickets. And then this is off the cover of my my brew that we got while we were in the cinema, so I just added that as a bit of ephemera. And then I did a little bit of stamping. I used some patterned papers that we're selling in the memory keeping section. These are not Time for Tea Designs papers. I can't for the life of me remember who they are, but they are really pretty papers, and I've used some various bits of ephemera. You're getting a sneaky peek here of something that's coming up in our next stamp release, so that's a little bit of a sneaky peek. Bit of journaling on the back of there about what we thought about the film, which we were not impressed by, I have to say. And then just some pictures of us going to the the cinema. A little bit of a story here about Aunt's sister coming to visit and Rosie being too scared to get too close to little baby Lexi, which was really cute, keeping a bit of a safe distance. And then moving on to some other stories of the day, us going for a little walk together, just recording that walk. And you can see that I've just used some sentiments here, just simple sentiments, just to highlight those pictures. So fill in any kind of dead spaces that there might be in a picture, and that just really help tell that story. And then again, I've just created a little bit of a collage. So these were, so like I say, where you might have lots of pictures, but they're not major stories, but you still want to include them, making them a little bit smaller, creating a bit of a collage on an out-of-pocket page like this. So I've just used some patterned paper in the background, some stamping detail, stamped the Today You, that's from one of the stamp sets that's in the memory keeping section. And it's just makes for a really nice little collage. And I think I may add some like little labels to explain what some of these mean, but they're pretty self-explanatory, most of them, to be fair, so I may not need to do that. On the other side, I've created another little collage of little stories. We've got, you know, these are ant related stories, and I do want to fix something with this, because when you flip this over, I don't know if you can see, but this comes open and it's a bit annoying. So what I want to do is create something to kind of fix it in place until you're ready to open it. And I've not decided what that is yet. But this is Ant doing some of his training, and I need to add some journaling on there just to say what he was actually doing. Here are a couple of disasters. My dad broke my mum's brush. She sent me a picture of that, which I thought was really cute. And then Ant's watch broke, and he fixed it with some of our Time for Tea washi tape. So this is our rainbow washi tape, and he fixed it using that. So I just wrote on top of the photo there with washi fixes everything. This is us going on a little bit of a trip to the doctors, and me reading my crime magazine while I waited. And then this is us receiving Clyde's ashes, which again was something that I wanted to record, but probably not spend too much time dwelling on. This piece here was a number of kind of car selfies that we took. For some reason, I love a car selfie, so yeah, so I thought they'd work quite well all together as a bit of a collage. And then just some different events from the day, again keeping it quite simple with a little bit of a ephemera or a sentiment that just explains it. Ant's first cat rescue, which was quite cute, and then us visiting my mum and dad, and us having a bit of a laugh over the pictures that we took, because we couldn't get a decent picture to save our lives, so we were just having a bit of a giggle about that. And I thought that was really nice to create this collage of all the rejected photos from the day, and this was the best one that we could really come together with. So that was the one that made it into the larger picture, which was cute. And then, so this is it. Like I say, this is in March. So in March it was my mum's birthday, but it was also Mother's Day. So there were two kind of occasions that we were celebrating with my mum. And then finally, the final bit of March is Rosie up to no good. A little bit of cuddles with Rosie there. This is us decorating what used to be my office, but is now just a space. And also decorating our bedroom, and Rosie getting involved wherever she could, which was cute. Ant doing a bit of FaceTime with his personal trainer, and then Ant doing some work with the help of Rosie again. She always gets involved. So on the flip side of this, so I created a flip up here. There's me at my new offices. So this was office, this is new office. So me doing a little bit of work there. And again, I set up my camera to take a picture of me while I was doing some work. And this card here has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I've numbered each of my photos, and I'm going to do a little bit of journaling about each of them on the back of there, just to explain what they are. What I did realise when I came to do this is that I've made that number 7 instead of number 5. I don't know why. I think it's because I like the colour of that one. So I need to change that and make that number 5. But that is, essentially, that is March complete. So this is, I imagine I'm probably going to get the first 6 months of the year in this one album. So this is what I'm saying. You're going to need a few albums, or use less photos. Don't be like me. So what I thought I'd show you now then is, if you're still with me, and we've probably got another maybe 20 minutes, I'll not keep you too much longer, is to show you kind of what my process is for April. So, and I won't show you all of what April's going to be, because these spreads do take a little bit of time. What I'm going to try and do, I did try and record the process videos for these, but I was having a few technical difficulties at the time, so I've decided to kind of drop that, and we'll come back to that and do you a flip through instead, which is what we've just done. But I will try and record the full process video for April. So I'm going to just show you roughly what my process is going to be. So these are my my project pages that I'm going to start working on. So I've got the back piece of the last day of March here, and then I've got the first kind of full day of April on this side. And I've cut out some pictures here of some of the stories that I want to tell this month. So, and I wanted to show you these because I wanted to show you kind of how I prepare my, I guess my stories in this way. And I have, I do have kind of a version of Photoshop, but it's not Photoshop. It's called Affinity Photo. Works very similar to Photoshop, and I've created within there these documents that are sized for how I want my pictures to look. So, for example, this is a good example here that I've got, and I hope there's not too much glare. I've got a 4x6 photo, 2 3x4 photos, and then I've got some different sized photos that are additional photos that I might make into a collage type piece, or into a flip up, that are all used as a different style, that are in different sizes, but they are all sized for roughly the same height at least. For the other size photos, I've left a little white border around each of them because I do quite like the white border effect. And then here you can see that on this page, this is the large size. It's 7.5 by 8.5, I think, which is my full page size for if I'm doing an out of pocket style. And then again, I've got some smaller pictures, just filling up my A4 piece of photo paper, because the photo paper is not cheap. This is Canon Plus photo paper, glossy photo paper, so it's not the cheapest, so you don't want to be wasting it. However, I did waste one piece because when I printed this one out, myself and Ant came out with very red faces. So I had to print that again just so that we looked like normal human beings. So that's just, sometimes your software might be not quite, maybe not work quite so well with your printer. So it looked fine on screen, but it printed too bright, so I just had to do a little bit of tweaking. But the other 2 photos were absolutely fine. I don't know why that one came out the way it did. It's very odd. So my plan is to cut these out, and I think these may have come out rather too large, because when I put that in front of it, it seems a bit too big, doesn't it? So I may have to trim some little bits off the edges, but nothing too much to worry about. It's not too much bigger. So yeah, so my plan is cut these out and then start popping them in place. So I am just going to cut these out so that you can see roughly about where I'm going to pop them. Jane says, hello, just saying a quick hello between family parties. We'll have to catch up later. Oh, thank you for popping in and saying hello, though. I know Saturdays are a busy time for folks, so I'm really appreciative of people joining in. So I'm just going to cut up some of these so that you can kind of get an idea of where we're coming from. And this, like I say, this is part of my process. The first part of the process, for me, is always getting the pictures that I want. So there are more stories for April that I want to include. And this story I knew I definitely wanted to include this because it was Ant and I went out with his colleagues from work. I've not met any of them before, so that was very exciting. And it was also a proper kind of a date night, you know, where we got to put on nice clothes and went out for some nice food and drink, and you know, we haven't done that in such a long time. This picture here again is another full page picture, and this is one that one of Ant's colleagues took when he was on a job, and I just really loved how it looked. And I know that they took this picture taking the mickey out of him. They were, you know, but actually I really love it. So and it's good to see pictures of him on the job with his kit on. It's just, you know, it's something that we'll be able to look back on and think is really, really cool. So let's cut out some of these that will go in our pocket pages. So I'm just trying to line this up so that we can get these fitted in. So what I've done with these 2 photos here, you'll see, is they actually don't fill the whole, and actually I'm going to cut them to the size of the photo rather than cutting out all of the. So these 2 are actually square photos, but I'm going to map these onto a journaling card so that we can add a bit of journaling on the top. That's my plan, anywho. So we've got these 2 pictures here, and then we've got 4x6 here as well. And that might need a little bit more. So what you'll probably find is that even though, you know, you've measured these out and you've trimmed them, they probably will still need a little bit of trimming to fit exactly in your pocket, because, you know, no matter how well you do it, something always needs trimming. And for some reason, I don't know why that's not trimming off the bottom very well, so I'm going to have to use my scissors here, I think, just to clean up that edge. Okay, so and then I think the others are just like additional pictures, so I'm going to hold on to those for now, because you don't want to watch me cutting out loads of photos. That's a bit boring, but I do want to just give you an idea of what my my initial week was going to look like in terms of starting April, getting April looking getting April off to a bit of a start. So April started for us with a visit from Aunt's sister and brother-in-law and little baby Henry. So it's great to get this picture of them in here. This is going to be kind of the start of our month. So March started with my with my niece Lexi and Aunt's other sister, and this month is going to start with his other sister and nephew. So let me see what we got here. Excuse me. And then the other picture that I just had in mind was this little one here, which I may use, I may not use. I'm just going to cut it down so that there's a little bit of a border around the outside. Excuse me. So just give it a little bit of a trim all the way around, so that it's got this white border. And then I'm going to use that as a little bit of a picture on a journaling card, I think. But we'll see. So let's move some of this mess. Got a lot of mess now. And then I'm going to grab my set of journaling cards and whatnot. Here we go. So this is my little kind of, what would you call it, container. My container with all the good stuff in it. This has got all of my bits of, all of my journaling cards and so on. So my stamps and all of my ephemera and things like that are in other containers. But what I like to do is I like to start with figuring out where all of my pictures are going to go, and then what journaling cards might go with them. So this is kind of the first bit of the process. The last bit of the process for me is adding the ephemera. I may use my stamps to help me build maybe my my layout, maybe make my own journaling cards, that kind of thing as well. So let's go back to the story. So the photos that we're using at the moment, and again, I think they might need trimming down. They look like the borders are too large for those. So the pictures that I'm going to use for the moment, we've got these here, and we've got our larger piece here. So, and these are our layouts. So for this page here, which is the back of March, this is what I want to create my kind of title cards for April. So they're possibly the right size actually. So I'm going to have these pictures of Ant with his nephew just there. And then I'm going to create a title card here, but possibly use this picture of Laura and Sam. I hope they don't mind their pictures being shown. It's too late if they do. So then on this side, I'm going to create this as an insert. So this is going to be my inside piece here. And I'm going to put these two back to back. So this piece will go in here. And this is a great picture for adding some extra embellishments or journaling. So again, I've not quite decided what that will look like yet. That will come after, but I know that I want this picture. So, and then on the other side, there will be this picture of us both. And this is the story of us going out for dinner and meeting his work colleagues. So again, there are pictures of people who don't know that they're going to be in this. So we'll just not look at those people. We'll just pop that in front of those people there. And then the food that we ate, the restaurant we went to, I'm probably going to pop in here, I think. The other alternative for that is, because to have two that are just about food might seem a little bit much, so I could actually create a flip up here. And this is a good picture because it's got the restaurant on there. So then I could possibly include, again, a similar thing with these other pictures here that we've from the night out as well. So it'd be good to get those on there and add those to the spread. So I think that is possibly what we're going to do, and is add those as a little bit of a flip up element to each of these. So this can go in just as is. That's absolutely fine. These two need some need cards to kind of back them up. So this is kind of the fun bit, really, is where we get to go and look through some of our cards. We've obviously got time for tea cards that would go really well. We have our own journaling cards, and this one really stands out as being a really useful one as a bit of a journaling card. Can pop that one on there, and I need another one to go on top of that. So you know, there's a number of journaling cards that are in the memory keeping section, and you know what I do like to do, I've got lots in here, things that are ones that I have printed out, digital ones that I've collected over the years, and also our own, and what I'm looking for, I guess, are colours that are in my spread. So for example, the greens and teals that are in the background of our the bar that we went to, the pops of purple would be really great. So another idea to use is to use your paper pads. So we do have a couple in the shop, some Pink Fresh Studio ones. We've got the I never remember who this one's by, but this is one of my favourites. I think this is maybe a Studio Calico one, and I've used some of these papers already. They're really pretty, but none of the right colours in that one for this particular project. I do have an L Studio one here. This has got some really nice colours, a few purples in there, but again not quite right, although it's got this lovely teal colour. And what I might be able to do is add some purple in terms of embellishments, which would work. So I quite like this card here. I think that one's is pretty fun. And again, I can add my card on there. This is quite a nice bit of pattern paper as well, actually. I do like that. So in this pocket here, we're probably going to do a similar thing. We're probably going to add maybe a couple of these photos, but I would quite like the front of this to just be a journaling card. So again, I'll go through some of my cards and see if any of them are appropriate for what we've got here. So let's have a look through some of these. These are really nice. So I think these are from one of the collections in the shop. This is a nice one, You Make My Heart Sing. It's not quite the same purple, but I think it works. The Hooray and Celebrate, that's definitely a good one, and the fact that we're having a celebration, I quite like the idea of that. We've got this one that's got the purples and greens. Now that could be quite a nice one to back this up. That might be nice, but I think I still prefer this one, so we'll keep that one for now. Yellows, we've got some numbers, got fun, fun, fun. That could also work, couldn't it? And maybe that could work as a backing card. An opportunity for some journaling on this one. Some lovely lovely cards in this set. Really nice. So I think it's going to be one of these that we've selected here. So I'm pretty happy with that. I think we might remove that one. We're down to these two. And like I say, we could use one of them as a front-facing card. One of them could be the back of one of these to add our journaling to, which I think would be quite a fun idea. So I might use that as my flip-up pocket there. The other alternative that I had to adding another flip-up here was to add an insert here, an insert element with these pictures, because I also have a picture of one of Ant's colleagues whose face I will blur out, but I've also got this picture here of these fun lights that were in the bar, and you can see them there as well. But I just thought they were really, really cool because they're like little pineapples. Well, they were big, giant pineapples actually. So yeah, quite wanted to include that. So having one of the inserts that we had before, I'm just seeing if I can find them in here. I think they must be in my other pockets. Here they are. No, they're not. That's the usual size. Here they are. Okay, so this is one of the insert pockets you can see here. So we can pop these in a bit of a collage down the center of here and have that as a little insert in our story. And I think that would be a great thing to do along the middle. So you can see this is already starting to come together quite nicely. These will need some holes punching in. And then for this layout here, I need another card here, and I need a 4x6 card. So let's have a look at some of my 4x6 cards. So we don't do 4x6 cards. We do paper. So you can use, obviously you can use your patterned papers. Let's have a look. Oh, I do have some of these. Don't know where these were from actually, but again, these are in that notebook size, so they can slip in your notebooks there. I do have some of these 4x6 cards that are from recent kit. Yeah, this is from a monthly L Studio monthly kit for I think it's actually from April. Sorry, I'm just leaning across here trying to see what we've got, because I don't think I've got very many 4x6s, and these are on the wrong orientation. Now we've got this currently one here, which is quite cool, and that might be quite good to add in, but I do obviously want to get in the fact that it is April that we're into. So it could be an idea to create my own actually with April stamped across the edge here, and then a picture just there. That could be quite good. I do quite like these. These are from I like that. These I don't think these are digital, no, because they're printed on the other side, so I'm afraid I can't. That's a printed one. So yeah, I'm not sure quite where they're from. Just some bits from it in my stash. The other thing that use, which I do have, and we have these in the shop, are the this is the Ali Edwards stories by the month, but by the year kit. So, and there's quite a few of these 4x6s in here. And the great thing about this is some of them have words, some of them have just you know, blank like this, so that you can add your own kind of you know, stamping. This one with moments and memories is quite a good one. Or they have these that I've got this week on, which are quite good. Now, I'll just gather some of these together. And there's enough in here for you to do a full year. So again, that's what I do love about it. And there's some great colours in here. And I'm just trying to find a colour that I think works with my spread. The green is good because there's a lot of green in the picture opposite. And I think that could work. And although this says this week, we could potentially, oh, what have I done with the picture? We could potentially cover that up somehow with something else. Add some ephemera on there, a label to cover that up, and just use the green in the background. That could also work. So I've got two options there, or an option to create my own should I want to. So these are a really good little selection of things that you can then create your own little backgrounds with. Some really good prompts as well in amongst there, like around here, writing down the stuff of life. That's really good little prompt. So yeah, so I'm happy with those. In this, and I mean, look at all those cards. You know, you're never going to run out, I wouldn't imagine. But there is also in here all of the 3x4s as well. So you also get a whole heap of the 3x4s. And I have taken one of these out, so there's lots of those in there as well that you can use. I'm not sure what I've done with mine because I did take them out. Are these them? Yeah, these are them. So these are some of the 3x4s. Again, they all match really well. This is a good one to use for any food, recording your feelings. So some good prompts in there as well. Ugh, right now is just hard. That's a really useful one, I have to say. Some really great little cards in there that you can use. So there, that's part of the kit. So, and it comes in this really cool little storage box, which you could use for other things once you've used all of your cards. So that's a really handy one to have, I feel, and will be used quite a bit, I think. Yeah, I think that's my starting point. You know, I've got bits of ephemera, I've got little bits of other little cards, you know, that that we could use to kind of, that's a bit of stamping that I did and I didn't use it on something else, but I can use it for this. But you know, that could work with something else. You know, there's lots of different ways that you could make, you know, that you could use all your little bits and pieces to build up your pictures. So, but I really want to get April stamped on here somewhere. So, like I say, we might end up making our own card based on this. But I do like that pop of green, that quite bold pop of green. So it might be that we stamp April onto this, creating our own card. I like that idea. So I'm going to pop that one back. that is the basis of how my layout's going to start. Like I said, there's obviously a bit of work that needs to be done, but this is essentially how I start building up my picture of what I'm going to do. I know what stories I want to tell. I know what my photos, I've chosen my photos. I know roughly my layout now, and what cards I want to use. I'm going to use some inserts as well, just to add a little bit of extra interest to tell this story, which is a bigger story. And then we'll have, you know, it now leads on really nicely from our May story as well. So, so now we're you know, I'm ready to start putting bits together, maybe adding some embellishments. So that's the bit that I think I will record for you guys and hopefully get posted in the next week or so, a couple of weeks probably, because we have got a busy week coming up, but I really want to get started on this and get that recorded for you. I hope that that's been of interest to you. I know it's been a long live today. We've covered lots of stuff, but I did want to show you a little bit of my process here, to hopefully that inspires you to get started and work on something yourself. And also, you've seen some of the products that are in the shop. I don't know all the names of them yet, but if you check through the memory keeping section on the website, 10% off. If you're a subscriber, you can get 15% off. Just check your inbox, and please do take part in our competition, and put your comments below the Facebook post and the YouTube video, depending on which way you're watching us. Add your comment, tell us happy scrapbook day, tell us what your journey is with scrapbooking if you'd like to, and you could be in with a chance of winning one of our albums, the inserts that go with it, and then some of the goodies that go with that. So some journaling cards, some ephemera, some stamps, and basically your get started kit. I'll post a picture, I'll try and post a picture of the goodies. I don't know if I've got them all to hand here. They'll probably back in the office, but we've got label stickers, we've got tab stickers, we've got mood stickers, we've got journaling cards, we've got ephemera, we've got stamps. You know, it's going to be an amazing bundle. You're going to have well over £60 worth of stuff available to you. So please do enter that competition with a chance to win some amazing memory keeping goodies, and hopefully start your memory keeping journey and become as passionate about it as I am, and start recording your memories. Right, I think I'm going to stop talking now. I'm going to let you guys enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and the rest of scrapbooking day. Hopefully some of you will go away and do your own bit of scrapping now, and I will see you all again really soon. Happy scrapbooking day, guys. See you soon. Bye.